I believe it's still morning, so good morning. I'm Christine Welch, and I'm the owner of the Coffee Cake Connection Company. I took funding feeding frenzy a little literally, and I brought some food to feed my investors, who hopefully will find us worthy of funding. The story begins with myself. I was in corporate America for 30 years. The last 10 was with Ceridian Corporation. Most of my life I spent in technology, solving other people's problems, how to move data, how to just get things to work. I was known as the fixer in my last job. I spent my last 10 years doing sales account management. I was National Accounts VP, Regional Vice President, learned Six Sigma and Lean processes. I worked at large organizations like TransUnion, Bankers Life and Casualty, Ziff Davis Education. I've been an entrepreneur. This is my third time. Both my previous companies were in the service-related industry, both of which I've sold. Oops, and I just turned me off. We launched November 1st, 2011. Why? Because for 8 years I spent my last career making this coffee cake. And everywhere I went, everyone said, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever had. You need to go into business. I was downsized in 2011, and so my life came undone. I tried to stay in corporate America, and it just wasn't having me. I had a CFO contact me, and she said, you know, Chris, I think you should go and bake for us at our location, sell to our employees because you make great cake. I said, okay, went out, got $2 million worth of liability insurance. I said, she was the CFO, I said, you talk to HR, you talk to your VP or your lawyer, and I called back and she said, everybody says great except the chef. So now what? What I ended up doing was I contacted a local baker and began co-packing November 1st to friends and family. My co-packer said, make 25 cakes. I had 4 flavors, 1 size. By the end of December, we had moved 1,100 coffee cakes. Then January came. Well, what comes with January? Credit cards and diets. But we had something that was unique. We were a gourmet, all-natural, no preservatives, and no nut cake. There's nothing that was out there. And we resonated with people who care about food. The food industry is huge. And chefs and everyone around that I dealt with took me under their wing and said, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've had in a long time. And so for the first 6 months of my business, I spent chasing my tail. I didn't know where I belonged. I didn't know where I resonated. But I was involved not only in corporate gifting, but I was getting involved in retail and wholesale. I keep turning this off. Can you tell I'm nervous? So why did I do this? Because people connect with food. Most of your most memorable experiences are around food. Holidays, anniversaries, when you're courting the people that you love, when you're with your children. Food is a central connector. And I found with my clients, when I was in corporate America, it got to a point where they would only schedule me in the morning because they knew they'd get cake. But we also find that the consumer spends $11 billion on just gifting in 2012, which was up 2.5% in 2011. So it is a growing industry. Everyone eats. My 2 competitors, Boston Coffee Cake and My Grandma's of New England, both are $5 to $10 million companies. They're generating 10,000 coffee cakes in a day. Oh, my goodness. It's an affordable indulgence. It's recession-proof. People basically tend to purchase, and income is not the issue. Corporate gifting. In 2012, which was our first real holiday outside of friends and family, these are the companies that we shipped our cakes to. And it wasn't just one cake. We moved over 2,000 cakes in that holiday season. Our corporate clients are clients that buy from us regularly to ship to their most valued customer or prospect. We personalize and put their logo. We make them go first. It's not about us, it's about our customer. Whether it's a consumer or whether it's a corporation, we want to make sure that we leave a lasting impression. Our intention is to be the Tiffany's of coffee cakes. So when you receive a little brown box, you know you have something really good inside. In March of 2013, after networking and being in the industry now only 1 year, all I heard about was, do you have a gluten-free solution? 21 million people are gluten intolerant. And it's not just people with celiac disease. 1 out of every 100 have some sort of intolerance. And more people are medically being told to go gluten-free to eliminate certain problems with anxiety, rheumatoid arthritis, Asperger's, autism, ADHD. So it is a growing industry. And in March 2013, we launched our gluten-free solution, and we're the only coffee cake right now in the market that you can buy online as a gift or for just consumer use. That has helped us in the wholesale market. We launched a PR release in March, and we had people from New York, California, Denver contact us asking to buy our cakes, and we've been selling them in their stores. Other customers that we have are Oberweis Home Delivery, the Chicago Golf Club, Summit Center, Executive Center. We just landed Raging Waves Water Park, Eclectic Cafe, GF Gluten Free in New York, and the Bryn Mawr Country Club, just to name a few. We have several reseller opportunities. We are right now on a featured item on Give Only the Best. We're part of Abe's Market. InstaWhip is looking to distribute us throughout the Midwest. And then we also partner with a company called More Than Mugs, which does promotions. We also have been resonating in the food service industry. When we came out with our gluten-free in March, the one thing that most consumers or the food industry is struggling with is how to satisfy the demands in an indulgent for the gluten-free community. And we came up with Scoop Cake. It's our batter. It's raw. They can throw any flavor, any time, bake it any size. And we've sold over 500 pounds in just 2 months. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it's being a part-time person. Some other companies that we're in conversation with right now are Topco. They're interested in bringing our Scoop Cake to their retail audience. Greco & Sons has been introducing us to their clients. We also have a verbal commitment from Key Lime Cove, and Homer's Gourmet Ice Cream wants to take our cake and turn it into a cake ice cream sandwich. So we've got samples going to them next week. We provide seasonal flavors, variety packs, and a Cake of the Month type club. So we find that that is something that most consumers seek. We moved 13,000 coffee cakes in 2012. Now that doesn't seem like a lot, but again, it's been me and a part-time person. So 12,000 or 13,000 coffee cakes I felt was a pretty good accomplishment. This year, for the last 12 months, we did $190,000. For the last half of the year, which is our biggest year, or biggest season because of being holidays, people buy for the holidays. But we anticipate with funding that we, growing our sales force, can quadruple, if not more, our sales, not only in the wholesale, but in the corporate gifting arena. What we're looking for is $225,000. Our hope is that we would have the financing to add to our marketing and advertising capabilities, increase our system infrastructure. We need, ideally, money for real estate. We're right now in a month-to-month situation for our facilities. And operations. We need a delivery capability, and we need freezers, because everything that we bake is baked off-premise, and we bring it in and distribute it locally. For this, we're offering a 25% stake in the company, but we are looking not just for money, we really need a partner. I need expertise that I don't have, both financial, distribution, and in other areas that, again, I know that it just can't continue as myself. So that's the Coffee Cake Connection. We're a sweet treat that is with and without wheat, and we hope that you find your experience a good one. Thank you.
Okay, well done. Remember, the first two teams up have practiced presentations a whole bunch, and Christine, this is probably your first real full presentation, right? So well done, well done. Now, one of the things I'll mention is that what units of measure does Christine think in? Cakes, pounds of batter, right? So when you're doing your presentations, this is the learning part of the process, when you're doing your presentations, what do investors think in?
Gold cake.
Yeah, gold cakes. Yeah, so if we go back to here, I can't see what, there should be a big number. What you did very well was that you got 13,000 cakes and 21 million people and things like that. Can you tell us what, because I can't aggregate that in my mind right there very well. So what do you think the total for year 2015, if you have that number, I know you have it broken out in wholesale and corporate gifting and all that. Do you know what that total number would be?
It would be just over $1 million.
Just over $1 million. Now that's a number that these guys could probably get their hands on, because that's 600,000 plus 500,000, that's 1.1 million already. So actually it looks a little bit more than that. So anyway, so maybe $1.5 million. So for all the other entrepreneurs out there, once again, Christine basically got this to us yesterday or tonight. So great job on the presentation. I will turn it over to these gentlemen who understand that there are 5 little gift packs here, and there are 5 of you. I don't know if that means anything in particular, but I would just say be kind.
Okay, yes, Michael.
It doesn't really matter. It's all dough in one form or another. Is it being co-packed by someone at the present time?
Yes, I use 2 co-packers. I have a gluten-free certified, kosher certified, nut-free certified in one location. And then I use Chicago Pastry in Bloomingdale, which is the cousins of the Toronto Bread family. And they were the company that I actually started with.
Okay, so where are your margins in terms of your gross profit at the present time?
Right now, my margins, my smallest margin is 36%, and my highest margin is 66%. And in the wholesale side, we're at about a 45% margin on average.
So your weighted average at the end of the day is around 40%?
In the mid-40s, yes.
Somewhere in that area?
Yes.
And then you plan to take the entity and move it into its own facility on a going forward basis?
There's a debate on whether or not I want to ever get into baking myself. That is a future opportunity, but right now with the cost to actually start or purchase even a facility and the regulations and licensing and permits involved, it is more economic and more scalable to use a co-packer.
A little cost prohibitive at the present time?
Correct.
Okay.
So I didn't know what a co-packer is until just now. They actually produce the cake. I pictured you in an oven cooking
No,
cakes all the time,
no.
and on the phone. And
I did not want to be the Dunkin'
Got it.
Donuts
So-
of coffee cakes.
So the co-packers take your recipes
Yes.
and cook it to your specifications,
Yes.
make it to your specifications, and you have been going out and selling it.
Yes.
What has been your primary way that you've sold this thing?
We started online with friends and family.
Who's we?
I always say we because that makes it sound bigger.
You. I know. I'm a one-man we sometimes.
Well, you know,
Me, myself, and I.
so I had a web developer and other people that have obviously helped me, but I had 1,300 names of friends and family and connections through LinkedIn and Facebook, and we launched with that in November and sold 1,100 cakes. Since then, our list has grown to over 3,000 from networking and various events that we're in, and so most of our business is online. When we went into the gluten-free arena, people actually came to us and started asking to not only sample, but every person or every customer or every client that's tried our product has actually ended up buying because it's been something that they've just said it's amazing, which you actually ate the
They're
gluten-free.
delicious.
It is the gluten-free.
So I wanted to get another level of detail on this thing. So your main marketing tool has been online marketing.
Online and my connections, and then I have a part-time salesperson and networker who has brought in She brought in the Raging Waves. She's brought in other large
By
clients.
calling them on the phone and being like, hey, we're cake.
We do
coffee cake.
we do
or
that.
Emails or what's, I want to know the activities of your business.
The
are.
activity is we do a lot of networking. I'm known as the coffee cake
Talking
lady.
on the phone, meeting in person.
In
making
person,
visits,
we go to
setting up
we're
appointments.
involved in all sorts of networking activities. We're all over the local regional area at various events. We were part of Food Industry News Schmooze event. We have been at Chamber of Commerce. Everywhere we go, every luncheon, meetup, whatever we do, everywhere we go, we bring cake. And so we are known, and we have built a reputation geographically through guerrilla marketing mostly. And then online, we do mostly my e-commerce type of business, but it's on the phone or networking and then getting cake in mouth, and it goes from there.
I have a couple questions. She's smiling. You do all this networking, and some of the stuff costs money. So what is your general cost of acquisition for a account or client? And secondly, other than what I've seen in terms of what you bring in revenue, I'm making an assumption you're not entirely cash flow positive.
No, we are not.
So in light of that, money has to come from someplace. Is there a debt load on this company?
I have funded the company, and the debt that the company owes me is $180,000 over the last 2 years. Most of that. Yeah. That's gonna. I will get that back.
You can get it.
No, I will get that back in time, and I'm not. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. One of the things that we are looking to do is minimize our inventory. Our inventory is our biggest expense right now. We have to have inventory in order to fulfill. Our cost to secure a customer can vary. It has been as low as, the cost of my least expensive cake is $1 as far as it costs to produce if I don't make it all fancy and put it in a shipping box and ship it off. So it can be as low as $1 to as much as, I think when I've been at an event, it's cost me $500 and I won one customer, but that customer turned out to be, they're averaging $25,000 a year minimum with us right now. So the potential is huge. The acquisition or the cost of acquisition, it's been slower than we've liked, but it's been pretty much on the lower cost.
Your average cost, just taking your revenue into you said you sold 12,000 cakes, seems to be about $15 per cake you're charging?
We have a range. So the average is right around $15, $17.
Okay, and then if you, how does that compare to, I think you said Grandma's and Boston's?
They basically, the difference between us and them is they always have a sale, and we don't. We rarely put our product on sale. And they are always priced at $29 or $32, but they always reduce the price to in the 20 range, or they give free shipping. We seldom do any of those type of tactics, and so what we have found is that the customer, we try to keep our price point more affordable so that they are not always we're not looking for the person looking for the deal. We're looking for someone who is looking for quality and keeping it affordable that they want to come back.
My question, you had a shot up there and it showed what you're going to do with the $250,000?
Yes. Primarily, I know I can't, this company will never grow if it's just about me, and I never wanted it to be about me. I'm looking to bring on employees in. The nice thing about the type of business that I'm in is that I don't need skilled labor. I need people who in distribution, I need people in sales, I need people who are talented in marketing and advertising. So resources are more human capital, but with certain specific talent. And then as far as my investor, I need someone who is strong in finance and possibly business development areas in distribution or retail that can help me open doors, because there's licensing opportunities, there's, the opportunities are endless.
What seems to be Excuse me. What seems to be saving you is because you're in the food industry, your receivables must turn fast.
Yes. In fact, we collect almost before we actually ship. We actually 90% of the time have the revenue in the door. It's the inventory prior to.
Right. The
The
buildup of the inventory for the purchase order to get it
Correct.
out the door.
Correct.
And then the rest of it must turn within 15 days on a wholesale account or somewhere in that area.
It's very fast and growing. Mhm.
So based on your chart earlier on what you needed to obtain in terms of money you're looking for in 214, let's assume you raise zero money for whatever reason. Okay, so would you interpolate between 213 and 214 in terms of sales?
The sales would be impacted without funding
Correct.
because there's certain things that money can do that,
Right.
such as direct mail. Corporate clients who are my most profitable margin, the challenge that I have is that they don't always respond to email campaigns or more of those electronic type. They like something in hand. We were at an event yesterday that was for all the event planners in Chicago. And United Airlines came up and said, this is a great product. I'm taking it to my boss. Can I have 4? I had a person from Topgolf call me and asked to have me bring product to her because she was on her way to Austin, Texas, and wanted our product as a solution. So without salespeople or without funding, the challenge to grow as rapidly is obviously impacted, but we will grow and we will be around hopefully when your grandkids are adults.
Can you turn it back to that slide that shows
I
the
don't-
allocation of funds?
Did I get that clicker? Oh, I do have the clicker, okay. The allocation of funds? Here? Yes. Good job. I know I didn't turn it off this time. Oh, all these people, it's like, go away now, okay? It's lunchtime, isn't it? Right now we're on a month-to-month. We had an opportunity to purchase a building for $150,000, and it had apartments above. It was in a retail storefront, where right now I'm sort of set in an industrial park where I don't have a lot of visibility. We get more and more calls on a regular basis of people wanting to show up and buy, see, taste, what have you. And the opportunity to franchise the company, the opportunity to be like the Starbucks of coffee cakes and have locations, again, with the right investor in the right direction, the opportunities are endless. It's just I can't do it all and grow.
No, but you would not buy a building to put in a manufacturing facility.
No, I would not.
You would buy or lease a building to have a outlet.
Correct.
To show your product on a going forward basis.
Correct, to be able to do distribution and to be able to sell at a retail walk-in
Correct.
traffic and have the visibility, yes.
Are you CRC or OU?
I don't know the terminology.
You said you're a kosher product?
I do have kosher for my gluten-free, but I do not in my original product.
So under the gluten, is it CRC or OU?
I don't know the terminology. I'm not familiar with either, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
My comment question is about, you're looking for $225,000 and you're willing to give up 25% of the equity in the company.
Yes.
It's almost like kind of giving away the farms in a way. It just seems like you have so much potential and, I have the money, give me the equity, but you know what I mean? It's like a lot for.
The way I look at it is this. I want someone who feels that they've got skin in the game as much as I do. And I want someone who wants to be a part of a business that could be something spectacular as opposed to just their money. I don't need just money. I need someone who really sees and believes in the vision the way I do. And for that, I am willing to give up part of the company for that. As long as I stay a women-owned business, which is huge, and I'm now in a position where I can qualify for that because I've been in business now for 2 years technically. That will make all the difference. It opens a huge number of doors.
Have you pursued an SBA loan?
I was not in a position because I was divorced and the home that I was in was up for sale, so I was not able to pursue an SBA loan under the conditions that I was in. I've just sold the home, and an SBA loan is something that I will look at more
Okay.
seriously because I'm in a different position now.
Correct.
You ready to eat me alive or just go to lunch?
I don't know if you want to pass those out. But let's wait and get the judgments before you give them anything. Yeah. Whoa, we don't play fair here. I said nothing about fair. Did you ever hear that? My dad was quoting that all the time. So we won't consider these bribes now. Give her the honest opinion there. And I will say,
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
yes, we're talking with Christine about coming into Venture Shot, and so she'll be giving away less of her company after today. Anyway, so get it while it's hot.
Well, I had somebody offer me 50% equity, and I thought, they were out of their mind.
I think you're fundable. I'm going to make some comments. I don't think your numbers are believable. That's the first thing. I think you do need several people to help you. I mean, there's lots of things you need, but it's a fundable business. And I think you need, as you say, help in your marketing strategy, your inventory, operations, all these things you need help in. I also don't think you need just one investor. I don't think that would be a good strategy. But I do think you're totally understaffed, as you know. But other than that, I think it's an intriguing idea, and there's lots of opportunities and potential to it.
If I may.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're totally fundable and you're ready for some help. I think you're kind of giving away the farm. I agree with Ron. You need a couple of people, maybe 2 investors, someone with a super sales background and some financial help. And I like the way that you're doing, you're preparing, you have other people that do it for you so that when the rush hits, you can scale up and get what you need. I'm totally all for it. We'll have to talk later because I love your cake, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
It wasn't just because you came away.
based on the flavor of the cake alone, I think you're fundable.
Thank you. Even though I didn't know how to use the.
Doesn't matter. When it's delicious, it doesn't matter. No, it's for the same reasons these guys said, and I think you're asking for a reasonable amount of money. I think you've taken care of your big operational costs, which is your manufacturing, and you just need someone to promote it. It's a sales game now, so thanks for
you.
bringing the cake.
Yeah, I guess it never hurts to bribe the judges, but no, I was actually torn, but I decided to give you your fundable. One of the things that I think the biggest thing for me personally, I think you're very fundable with other investors. For me, the food space can be very hard to get and differentiate yourself. But I think you've done a great job with the product and all that. It'll be a matter of taking that. I think what would make you a solid you're fundable is when you take the leap into a full-time and approach, and this is your business and everything you're doing, because then when you see that dedication coming across from the entrepreneur, it makes it a lot easier for the investor to be comfortable with it as well.
Well, I'm 100%. I just maybe didn't come across that.
Okay, I thought you were.
I am 100%. I have a part-time.
I had gotten the
staff.
impression you were doing.
No, no. This is
Okay.
all me.
Well, then I guess you get the whole.
Thank you. Yeah, really.
You're refreshingly honest, and you understand your weaknesses and your strengths, which is very important in a business such as yours. And I believe you're fundable.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well,
Well done, well done.